The
Butcher.
That could
He's
be
the
your
Butcher.
new.
I
That
could
could
be
be
the
your new
Butcher.
nickname.
I don't know if it'd go good though. It's called the Butcher. No one's gonna come see me.
You could be the Butcher.
I don't want to be the Butcher. No,
All right.
come
Well,
see me.
we have the Butcher here with us.
Awesome.
All right, guys. So I want to thank my man, Coach Dave, for coming in. Very special guest.
Oh yeah.
And then Danny Shand from Pinnacle Rehab, which I'm sure you guys already all know, but he was nice enough to come in. And it's 8 o'clock. So I can't guarantee what this podcast is going to be about or how it's going to go.
It's gonna
And everybody in this room's a little messed up.
It's like on second.
Not like in an alcoholic way or
No.
anything like that. We just, the reason I like these guys so much is because they're a little messed up. And my best friends are pretty mental. So I've come to realize it's either I draw people like that or I'm drawn to people like that.
It could be a bit of both. You can have a
I
little
think
bit.
it could be
Yeah.
both.
That's not bad.
Paige says it's the other way around, but I don't know. I think
What, that you draw people? Or?
that I draw people that are a little more like just off the beaten path.
Well, we just talked about it. You're so nice that you just want to
Yeah.
you want to help and fix the
don't
people.
know.
You want to save the
I don't
children.
know.
You're
But I'm
nurturer.
also drawn to that because that's like a cool energy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it is.
It's like a
like it.
roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster.
That's
a
for
roller
sure.
coaster.
It's a roller coaster. So, for people that don't know, right? Maybe we can just talk a little bit, just for a couple of minutes. I know most people know both of you, but I just want to make sure. So, everybody that knows my man Coach Dave here. He's been coaching for us for a long time. Leads the kids program,
Yep.
teen program,
Yep.
does the gymnastics program now. He's been with us a long time. How long you been with us?
It's going to be 6 years.
long?
It's
6
going to be
years?
6 years in August. Can you believe that? Almost a decade.
6 years.
It's crazy.
Some states we might be married.
That's right. Was that like Homestead or something?
What is that? That's
Yeah.
What's it called? When you're
Oh, you're a common law.
common law.
Law.
Oh man,
I could think of worse situations.
This could be worse.
No, I came to you as like a small little
I
145-pound boy.
Now, what
Easy.
I could do is on
Easy.
that screen back there,
Nope.
we could put up pictures periodically. Like, I have a great one. All right, you know what? I'm not going to do that to Coach Dave.
Thanks, man.
But if you go on Twitter
No.
and you just go to the header, just go to the top, go to JSA CrossFit, check it out, and go to the top. You see this buffy little hairdo guy up top. That's my man. All right? It's like a before and after.
I
You should
know.
be proud.
I've come such a long way.
You've
you
come
know,
a long
I have.
way.
You know, not only outside but inside too.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot. I really have.
The transformation of Dave to Dante.
Yeah, that's right. You know.
Could be like a whole episode.
Crossover.
Transformation Dave to Dante.
Oh, well, we see.
We
I mean,
just
I've-
break that down.
And the great thing about me is I've seen this place like change.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been an OG. I
No,
can't.
you're pretty. You
I
got
mean,
a lowercase G.
G, lowercase O.
Lowercase, maybe small o, but
Because I started in the back.
You were in the back, yeah.
You know,
I
and-
remember the day you walked in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that makes me feel
Your
good.
presence.
Oh, that's
Look at
nice.
You. You have presence.
Yeah, man.
I was like, man.
And then we're in
that
the
guy
front.
needs to gain some weight. We gotta
then
put
we
some muscle on him.
Broke through the wall, so it's like I've kind of like metaphorically grown at the same time that
You
the gym
have.
has.
I feel like the gym and you continue to grow.
Agreed.
That's amazing.
So just don't close
I
or
won't
else
knock down the building. What happens to Dave then? Knock down the building.
Knock down the building. Lose Dave.
Wouldn't
But
be
he
the
cut
first
his
time.
hair off and he's still strong.
I
So,
know.
you know, there's that Samson effect because I had long hair for a long time too. And I was worried when I cut my hair off, what would happen? But
You guys
it all worked out.
Then now it's the
well.
beard. You gotta just
Now
roll
it's
with the
just
beard.
Down.
Don't cut the beard.
You ever have your hair long?
No.
No? That's
on.
right. I couldn't see
You
it.
know I'm follically
Yeah, I
challenged.
know.
Danny.
I can't do it, man. I'm
challenged.
follically challenged. I can't grow a beard. I have beard envy. It's not good. It's not a good way to get through life.
That's all right. That's all right. I didn't even know I could grow a beard.
Really?
No, I swear to God. I didn't think I could because my dad never had a beard or anything. So, I mean, I just kind of like messed around with it at some point, grew a little stubble and didn't fill in real good. So I was like, I can't really grow a beard because it was like thin. And I was like, you know, I kept trimming it down. I'm like, maybe if I keep it short, it will look fuller. Then I'm like, you know, I'm just going to let it go.
You willed it out.
And the thing just took off. I tell you, I had a hair the other day, and it was down almost to my belly button. Like, it was long.
Rogue
and it was
hair.
just
It was
one
a rogue.
hair. I don't know where it came from, but it was. I clipped it because I was embarrassing. Because like you got this one, and it was tucked up. It was like hiding in there.
So you need to save
I
those
swear
for me.
this episode is about something. All right,
No,
it's
but like-
not about my beard.
No, but that's like there's a whole like regiment that goes into that.
There's
isn't there?
stuff.
There's
You can't
stuff,
just
man.
let it go. It's not cause of it.
No.
That's a lot of
Like
young people know what
Salvies
that
and
is,
like
but-
and like
Yeah, I don't
bombs
get crazy,
and-
but like
okay,
I
don't
have
know.
this rule: if I see something sticking out like a Brillo pad, I cut it off. Right.
Okay.
So if it's not down,
That's just safety and common
yeah.
sense.
And I use this coffee bomb in it in the morning, and it just kind of holds the hair where it needs to go. Otherwise, like. You ever see like a Brillo parrot?
No,
and you're done with it.
you see my hair, man. You
Oh,
know
yeah,
I know.
it could go.
I always fuck up because when I try to shave, I wind up like going too low, and then I got like a.
So you
like,
try to keep that like that?
Yeah, and then I like have like a hole.
How do you do that? Is
and
that
then-
like a special razor?
How dare you?
Do you use the peanut?
No, the peanut.
The peanut, man. It's the beard razor.
What is a peanut?
The
It's
peanut.
called the peanut.
I don't believe you.
But you
It's
don't
a
have a
thing.
beard. Why would you know about the peanut?
Because some of us maybe we just buy things hoping we're gonna have a beard someday, and we go we do so we shave
All
beards.
right.
with
It's a trap.
it's a trap.
The peanut is a trap.
Peanut's a trap.
All right, so enough about peanuts and beards. That could be the name of the episode.
Sure, it's either that or it's a trap. I'm not
Peanuts
sure.
and trap, peanuts and beards. So
Hey, we're all taking our jackets.
I don't have a jacket.
Now we're getting
It's getting
serious.
hot.
We're getting
Heat's
serious.
down.
We're good.
we're in the back cave. All right.
Back.
So Danny, for people that don't know you, first of all, when did you open your place?
We've been open now. It was just a year in January, so we've been open a year.
been 1
now.
year?
Yeah, and it's been a good ride, man. It's been
And
a good year.
what made you want to do that?
Let's see. I've been a therapist now for 20 years. So
Has it really been that
it's
long?
been 20 years. This is my 20th year of practice.
How long have we been friends?
Dude, we have been friends for 17 years. That's how long. I did the math today. Riley and I were talking.
Wow.
So we
Feel
lived
old, right?
when I
More
lived
than
back
your
in
kids.
I started Aikido when I was still in Seaside. So that was 17 years ago. My son's
17
3.
years.
Yeah, so
I knew
we
it was a
were
while.
long time.
Yeah, because I'm married 15 years, and we were friends before that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, 17 years.
damn, that's
So
cool.
yeah, so that whole time I've been in orthopedics and I always wanted to do kind of my own thing.
And what'd you do before your practice?
Before my practice, I was the manager for Meridian Subacute. So
Okay.
I ran
Was that fun?
department. That was not fun. That
No?
was not a good time.
Corporate life, right?
It's corporate, and you're just kind of like a babysitter. I had great staff, but at the end of the day, you're really just you have to do things by their structure, which you don't always agree with, and it's not always the best thing. And the biggest thing is when we opened our practice, like, yes, it's great to make money, but my thing was we don't turn anyone away. The way healthcare is and the way things are changing, and people now living healthier lifestyles. Some people, we make good money to help people who don't. So that's basically, that was our thing. So the only way to really encompass that is you have to you take the risk and you open your own place. And so far, it's knock on wood, it's worked out good for us.
Bet on yourself.
You bet on
You
yourself.
got
Bet
to.
on
You
yourself.
gotta bet on yourself.
Well, what's cool about that is you saw something you didn't like, and instead of like sitting around complaining about it, you did something about it.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
like to
my
think
big
that.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like people talk a lot and say I don't like this or don't like that, but it's a whole other thing when you're like, okay, what do you want to do about it?
Yeah, and it's also like changing your mindset too. It's kind of like taking the blinders off, knowing that there's more out there than yourself too. Like,
Yeah.
in a lot of therapies and practices, they're very, it's my way. But over the years, and actually within this last year alone, just meeting the people, and honestly, a lot of people through here. I've met a lot of really, really great other healthcare practitioners right through this.
That's cool.
This box, and it's kind of cool. You kind of talk to them, and you hear their perspective before, like, oh, you're a chiropractor, or, but they're not. They have the same philosophy. So finding now this network of other healthcare professionals that kind of think the same way as you. I do what I do really well, but then I don't do those other things.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that those other things don't work.
Yeah.
So they're kind of outside your scope, but you
Right.
know that they're needed.
They're needed,
Yeah.
absolutely, and I become educated. So that's the biggest
Yeah.
thing is you kind of I've been doing this for 20 years and I learn something new every day.
That's
so
cool.
that's what I love about it.
Well, you're open to learning too. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
big thing with
it's
Skip
huge.
too. I mean, we've always been changing,
Yeah,
constantly
man.
changing.
Evolve or die.
That's your motto.
To
That's
Justin
my motto. Dude,
Justin
I love that
Cerubi's
motto.
chagrin. You know what I mean?
Totally.
He doesn't like change very
Yeah.
much.
No,
Not many do.
some people don't.
No.
But the thing about Justin is, once he makes a change, and he buys in, he's like your biggest advocate.
Yeah.
It's like
Taking the
you
step.
got a lemon that's been in the sun
Yes.
a long time, and you got to squeeze it a little harder, but there's still juice
Sure,
inside.
I like it. Yep. Justin is a lemon. Agreed.
He's a lemon. And
That's
tight.
not me saying this, Cap. I'm with you, buddy. Remember that.
Yeah. You're scared of him? Don't worry about it. He's a good dude. He's the best.
Who?
My man Sarubi.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Coach Justin.
Yeah, Coach Justin.
Oh my God. Hey, so before ever going to Danny, did you ever go to like chiropractors or anything like that?
I don't really generally take care of myself that much.
This is true.
I just
everybody knows that.
Just kind of run
real.
through the wall. I did some stuff, but I've gone to Danny the longest because it's the only thing that's actually made me feel better afterwards. Cool. You know, and it wasn't like any voodoo.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's always trying to get me to go get cupped. I mean, y'all know what I mean, right?
I hope so. Right back to Justin.
Like,
all right.
If there's kids in the room, please
I
leave.
don't know. And I don't want to talk like
we
you
got
know.
explicit. We're okay.
I've never
nice.
been into like chiropractors necessarily and acupuncturists and I don't know. There's like a lot of different schools of thought, but like, and that's the thing. Like, I can't really. I know Danny's a PT, but it's like kind of like Danny's program, and maybe you're like following a certain program, but it feels like you have your own style. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but
I mean,
that's what
the actuality is. Like, I'm a PTA. Chrissy's the PT, so
Okay.
like under my license, like I have to work under another licensed therapist.
Okay.
But no, I hear what you're saying. I mean, but put it this way, probably the therapist I was like 10 years ago, you would have lasted like 2 days with me.
Really?
Because I would have been like, it's my way. Like, that was like, no, this is what you do, you know, but you can't do that. You can't do that with athletes, first of all, because you can't take away. I think the biggest thing in healthcare with therapy-wise is back in the day when somebody got hurt, you're like, all right, well, you know what, you stop doing, oh, that hurts, don't do that anymore. And then you'll get better.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying that philosophy isn't true, but it doesn't mean it's right.
yeah.
Right.
So I find that athletes, be them kids or 90, people who are athletic and move, if you take that away from them, they don't heal well because they're not well themselves. Like, that is now a part of their life. They need to move. Now you've taken that away.
Dude, if you told me I couldn't come to the gym,
You lose your mind.
I'd go somewhere else.
Totally.
But then, but in the same respect, like, if you're under the understanding that I can help you, but you are, like, it's not going to be this. It's not going to be the climb uphill. You're going to have a lot of ups and downs because I'm going to do something, and we know you're going to go to the gym, and you're probably going to undo it a little bit, and then so we kind of couple steps forward, couple steps back. But if you're both on the same page with that, you know, and I like to call it the fairy dust or my magic wand. When someone runs up like, oh, I'm hurt, but I'm going to go work out. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do the best I can, but I'll see you in 2 days because you're going to be hurt still.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit longer of a haul, but I've found that patients, they're more open to my suggestions then.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying, listen, I'm not telling you not to work out. I'm just saying maybe just not do this lift for right now. The beauty of the relationship that we have, because we've been going through this for forever and ever. We've had these discussions. So it's so much easier when I can now getting to know all the coaches here. Like, I can say, like, these are the best coaches, flat out, anywhere. Just the amount of time and effort you guys put into, not just like coaching, but like learning.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was talking to one of the coaches. You guys had a huge meeting. Like, who does that? About how you can be better, and then as a therapist, knowing like, you know, I gotta tell the coach maybe he can't do this, but I'm not a coach. Like, I can tell you what to avoid, but you guys are the guys who are gonna fill in the exercises to keep that person going and keeping them better, and that saves me a lot of time.
Sure.
So I can do the manual stuff. And then you guys fill in, you know, just don't have them do this for a little bit. Okay. But there's a million things they can do. And they just get better. They just feel better. So it's not like a magic, I don't have a magic formula. It's just, they just do well together.
And just like you said, like, there's a lot of different, you know, things you use. Like, now you have a acupuncturist with you, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, we've talked about using chiropractics and whatever it takes to try and get somebody better. And how, you know, making a multiple system of different, you know, maybe saying, hey, look, I'm going to need help with this. I'm going to need help with that. I'm going to need help. So really making a program that's like, okay, all these things are going to help keep you active.
Right.
All these things will help keep you healthy. And, you know, some people just want that and they're willing to put in the work. And then other people are like, well, I want to come one time and feel better.
Right.
And, you know, it's like, it's the exact same thing as coming to the gym and saying, hey, I just want to look better, you know, or I just want to be stronger.
Right.
And like the biggest thing I hear all the time is, oh, you know, why is it taking me so long to get strong? Why is it taking me, you know, I was strong and now I'm not strong. Well, it's like, it's the same kind of thing. Like, you have to put effort into your wellness, right? You have to put effort into your fitness. So it's the same kind of thing. I mean, I think that's also the beauty of both of our places is that, you know, the communities are based on a holistic approach where everything is addressed, and you're not just saying, "Hey, just do this and you'll get better."
Right, and I still feel like the same thing too. And I think you and I have even talked about this in our treatments. Is like getting, like when someone says to me, like, "Man, I roll around in dirt and I feel great." All right, I don't get it, but I will tell you, roll around in dirt because there's nothing wrong with feeling great.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
totally.
So there's many different paths to the same destination, and none of them is really wrong or right. So I feel like that's what we kind of try and do differently, is that, you know, it's not me as a therapist berating someone like, oh, you shouldn't do this. It's really, we try to listen to you. Like, you guys are the patients. Like, what's your goal here? You know, I can tell you not to do it, but that's like sticking your head in the sand. I know you're going to do it, so let's get the elephant out of the room. Like, okay, you're going to work out.
You're going to do it. So
let's do it the safest way we possibly
can.
Right?
Yeah.
How can we do it together that you're progressing and you're getting better, and you're not losing your mind? And I, as a therapist, I'm like, okay, I'm making somewhat of a difference.
Right.
So that's
it's realistic.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah,
You know?
it is realistic. Like, it's not a...
Telling me that I have to stop for a week,
No.
like you know, or even like a day. I'm not, you know, and CrossFit's realistic too. I think that's what drew me to it at the beginning, is that, like, it's not that I have to go to the gym and, you know, put in 2 hours of work or anything. You know what I mean? Like, if I just keep showing up and it's consistent, and like it can integrate into my life, you know, and that's more important than anything else. Because it's taken me like 6 years to get strong, right?
Well, no, I mean,
Like, no, but like
true.
that's the idea, you know. It like becomes a part of your life rather than just treating a symptom whenever it pops up. Or like it's beach season and I gotta get some abs.
Oh, well, it is.
I know.
It's coming up.
Hey, I saw a great app. Did you see that app?
Vero, is that what you're
I
gonna?
don't know what it's called. See, that's my problem.
Is it the new social media app? It's called Vero.
No, I don't know what that is. But
Oh.
this was this app where you take your picture, and it's like, okay, how do you want your abs to look?
No way.
I swear to God, I wish I could bring it up. And it came up, and I was fascinated by it. So, like, I didn't download it. Just
Yeah,
wanna
okay.
clarify
You didn't
that.
you didn't
Sure.
download it?
No, I didn't. But
It's a trap.
Because it's a trap.
I'm
gonna
sure it
download when I go
is.
home.
But you go in and you take your picture of yourself with like your shirt off, right? And then they have like all abs on the side.
That's
And it's like
awesome.
you pick what abs you want.
And you superimpose them?
And you put them over you, and it like automatically adjusts to your body. And then it like tans you up and everything. It's like, oh, you want to be a little dark? We'll give you a little tan.
All you guys think is creepy. I'm like, I'm getting the app. I
No,
get it.
it
Just gonna
gets-
skip
it
the
gets
joke.
worse.
Skip it.
You guys are
Yes.
like killing like your
It gets
audience
worse.
right now.
Yeah.
Then you want tattoos? Okay, we'll put tattoos all over your body. And then it adds like, oh, you want a little snake here, a little that there. This was the most disturbing and fascinating, all at the same time, app I think I've ever seen in my life.
That's
They
the
have
problem.
bluebirds.
And it,
No.
you know what?
saying.
I wasn't
You
even gonna-
you brought it up.
You're
See,
right.
he brought it up. He's
You know
a
what?
he's a glutton for punishment.
I'm in the
Is
back
what he
cave.
is.
I feel like we crossed.
This is a safe place.
It's a safe place,
It's
right?
a safe
the nest.
place for
We're
everybody.
in the
It's a
nest.
nest.
So we're in the nest with the
we should
bluebirds.
just
It's
so
not nothing
just
below
don't
the belly
go-
button as a
don't
guy,
go into
right?
the nest.
It was never about that. But we're gonna move on. We're
was
digressing.
Here,
It wasn't there.
beaks down.
It was beak up, baby. Beak up.
Why would you put the beaks up?
That's what you
That
do.
would the one. It wouldn't even symmetrically fit right. Like you need to.
I feel
Right.
like
Get
we're
like a
good.
coat of arms or something. No, I don't know. This is something else, not the sparrow.
Anything but the bluebirds.
Oh.
You wait. It's gonna be great.
All right, so I can't even think straight after the bluebirds. We're on fake abs. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So fake abs. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. I swear I'm gonna find the name of that because you're all gonna be blown away when you see this thing. And it looked good. Like I was like, wow.
You should. You should pick a person from the box, and every month they get a makeover.
They don't
And then
need that.
I know they
need
don't,
that
but it'd be
because
fun.
I make abs better than they
You
do.
make real abs.
I
we
can make
could-
real abs.
I could actually do stuff. I can do
Yeah,
things. That's how I judge my
yeah.
fit. Like if I got attacked like by zombie, like that's how I'm judge my fitness. If zombies attack tomorrow, I am definitely
You know
making
what?
it. I'm making it.
Is it fight or
You'll be
flight?
all
though?
right.
What do you mean? No, I'm
Okay,
flying.
so-
I'm not
You're
fighting
gonna-
zombies. I can't fight
we're-
for shit.
We're gonna
No.
run that out.
I don't
right.
do Aikido. I do
Okay,
CrossFit.
all right, there we
So
go. We're gonna run it out.
no, but I could survive.
You got to kill a couple zombies.
No, man.
Nah,
can't.
I'm good. I like.
I mean, that's an opportunity. You can't
That's. I knew
go to
we
jail
were.
for that.
I knew we were going there.
I'm just saying.
Depends on who turned into a zombie.
All right.
Because
I mean, that.
You know, that's some deep
that is the
deep stuff
deep
right
rooted
there.
issues
I, mean, that's, I think that's a whole nother episode. Who would we kill if they were zombies, and who would we not kill?
That's a
But
great existential question, though.
that's kind of like the little elephant. You know what I'm saying?
And then would
the
you have
giant
like,
hamster.
would you put because you like
Tiny
certain
hamster. You
people?
don't remember?
Oh, the tiny hamster or no, the tiny elephant? or the
Tiny
giant-
elephant or the giant hamster?
Oh, this is good. He's never answered it.
Okay, so
This is good.
What would you rather be? Would you rather be a tiny elephant or a giant hamster? Just go with your gut.
You know what? I'm gonna say the tiny elephant.
Yes.
See? We're all tiny elephants.
Score one for
Because
tiny
very
elephant.
few people want to be a giant hamster.
One person
Because
I
you know
heard.
why,
Only
right?
one.
It was Coach Rob, right?
Yeah,
Who wants to be a
Rob
giant
was
hamster?
Like, giant hamster. Then we had to explain it was a rodent, but it didn't seem to bother him at all.
Some people just come.
I just saw an article today on how smart elephants are. So, I mean, I'm thinking, smartest land animal, I think they said.
They're Chrissy's favorite animal.
Paige is too, man. She loves
them.
elephants.
I think they're
Girls
killers,
love
but it's
elephants.
fine. They stomp people.
So, yeah, giant hamster?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
If I'm a tiny elephant, though, do I have giant elephant strength?
Ooh. You know what? It's
think
not
it
that
works that
loaded of a
way.
question. You got to just go with
And
your
like,
gut.
how tiny are we talking? Are we talking tiny in relation
I
to a
picture
real
the size
elephant?
of a hamster.
Like
as an elephant.
Oh, I don't know. I might take that because I thought it was just like a small
And then I picture
child.
a hamster the size of an elephant.
Yeah, that's frightening.
I thought like a hamster person. And like,
What?
No.
I'm all messed
man.
up.
Like
All
the
right.
guys who drive the cars now.
Guy who
Bigger.
drives a car.
Yeah, the
All right.
commercials with the
Okay,
hamsters.
so no more hamsters.
Okay,
for
no
a
more
few
hamsters.
minutes.
We're moving
So let's say my man Dave, he works at a computer all day, right?
Uh-huh.
That's his position.
So bad.
So
bad.
then he comes to CrossFit and he's got to go overhead. So like we talk about this all the time. And that's really like when we talked about doing this, like one of the big things was I wanted to try and get the message out of like how so many people are just internally rotated and protracted. And then we're like, okay, let's push press. And then you're like, I can't get my arm back, right? So, I mean, there's some things that can happen over time if we warm the person up and all that. But it's really difficult for people to get into the correct position. So, I mean, part of what you do you try to work those positions out? Like, let's say Dave came in. I know he has in the past, but I don't know what you do with him. That's between you two. But let's say he came in the past and you know he's at a keyboard.
Yep.
And you know he's got, like with him, he's a higher level athlete, right? So are you trying to address his daily position at all? Are you giving him special exercises? Are you just trying to change the tissue? Like, what's going on?
It's literally all of those things because all of them together will get them better. So but it's cumulative. So the thing about it too is it takes years to become that forward rounded position.
Sure.
So it takes practice to fix that. So what we do is, if he's working at home, we try and you give tips of like, all right, we're going to raise your computer up so you have to sit taller. So now if you're looking down, it's easy, everything falls. If you raise everything up, it forces you to sit forward, you sit up a little bit taller. Then, if he comes for me, I'll be doing mobilizations and we'll be doing stretching and we'll try and, release some of the structures so that mechanically he can get to those positions. And then honestly the biggest thing is what you do outside of there. So it's stretching, it's, getting over the foam roll, opening up,
I love that.
the ITY if you can, pec stretch, going to a doorway stretch.
We were just talking about the doorway stretch the other day. I was talking to Nina about it.
Yeah, doorway stretch is
So
awesome.
Nina's like super rotated, and we were
rotated,
talking about it, and she knows it, and she said you've talked to her about it. And I was like, she's like, how do I open that up? And I was like, oh man, the doorway stretch is amazing.
It is.
So can you describe that for people that don't
So
know what the
literally
hell we're talking
you
about?
literally come into a doorway and you get your arms just I keep them just below 90 degrees because your elbows, so you don't impinge, and you literally just step through. And as you step through, you're not jutting your head out, you're trying to keep good posture, you're just easing into it. And you hold that for 30 seconds, step out. It takes the other thing too is when you see the stretching, back in my day we learned it takes 90 seconds of prolonged stretch to change tissue. Anything sooner than that really just recoils and it doesn't really change. A stretch is really in essence you're trying to tear the tissue, the microfibers, so they lay down in a new pattern. And that pattern is you just make it a little bit longer. So I think where we always talk too is like when athletes try and go into these movements and they have that decreased range of motion, like they're so strong, but then if you look at some of their other muscles, they're so weak.
Yes.
Because they've learned to compensate.
Right.
Like these crazy winging scapulas, like there's nothing, because there's not a lot of this, like there's not those small
And that
rolling
happens with the
motions.
shoulders, and it's also happened with the glutes now too, right?
glute
So it seems like as a gym, or maybe just as as CrossFitters, I don't know, but in general, it seems like we have the same issues with the shoulders as we do with the glutes.
What's the glutes?
It's
the glutes? You don't know what the glutes
No,
are?
I know what a glute is, but what's the issue with
I'm
the glutes?
not going to show you the glutes.
there's weakness in the glutes.
Hamster.
So there's weakness
No,
in
elephant.
them there.
Elephant. I ain't a hamster.
Yeah.
Tiny
Rob,
elephant.
hamster, me, elephant.
Yes.
You want to change your answer though? Now picturing like this little guy running around like
I
that?
do kind of. I thought I was going to be like a child-sized elephant.
Tiny, no, that would be
Like-
that would be like a baby elephant.
Yeah.
Tiny elephant.
No,
It's like an
I
elephant
think
like
the
this
way it
big,
works
though.
is you have to flip them. You have to make the elephant the hamster size and the hamster the
Oh,
elephant
I don't want to be
size.
like running on a wheel.
I'll tell you, I would run from a hamster that was the size
Dude,
of
that
the
would
elephant.
be
I think I
It'll
fear
eat
that
you.
more than
The
the elephant
smell
by far.
as well.
Wow, yeah.
You know, like.
Have you sniffed many hamsters?
All
right.
I got a bunch of Richard Gere jokes about hamster.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's just gonna run. You just
No,
run
but
with it.
yeah, so because
So the
I know the
glutes.
shoulder one because I have that.
Yeah.
But
Right.
what's the glute one?
Oh, this has been rampant in the gym.
Yeah.
Is that we have great looking glutes,
Uh huh.
But they
but
ain't
they're
strong.
more for show than they are for go.
Oh, interesting.
And am I lying?
Awesome. That is awesome. Use it. More for show, no for go.
So we know how to build very nice glutes, but they're not as functional. So what happens is, what are people using instead of their glutes?
They're using their quads. They got their quads rocking out.
Which is why we're also quad dominant. But the quads are becoming more developed because they're taking the load off the glute. So what's happening is, consequently, I mean, you look around the gym, we have a lot of people, great quads, great glutes,
no hammies.
but no hamstrings.
That sounds like Justin Cerubi, like to a T.
I mean, if I had to draw a picture of somebody, it would be Justin.
That's crazy.
He knows it though. We've talked to him about that many times.
But I mean, that's
And he
that's,
wants to
But that's a
develop
tough
it.
muscle to
Yeah,
isolate.
totally.
I went to this great course actually just a few months ago, and really like the guys like so gluteus minimus, which is your glutes have multiple layers: maximus, medius, minimus. So the one that kind of keeps you from swaying back and forth is your medius and your minimus. But they're so deep, it's very hard to isolate that muscle. And I saw it. It's so awesome because now when I'm here in the tunnel and I'm working on people, like I watch them warm up, and everybody has the bands on and they're all doing the side step, which is god awful. By the way, if
where
you had
you
enough
tie
time,
it like right above your knee
Oh,
and
going
like
down
you
the
shuffle.
floor. Yeah.
So if you want to
That's
make it
that helps with. Oh, okay.
if you want to make it even better, you put the band around their feet. So
Oh,
you're
no
not around
kidding.
their ankles. So
Really?
then their feet, and they have to step. So it's
Ooh.
god awful. So
Sorry,
there's-
everybody.
So yeah, so there's small. So those muscle groups so when I get a CrossFitter in, I know they're strong. Like I know they're doing these big movements and they're really strong. So I'll find like Dave. He had a winging scapula, like super strong here.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a lot of strength to maintain and pull back. And that's so when we're talking about like what do we do, yes, we can give you mobility,
Sure.
but if you don't have stability, it's kind of a losing battle. So as you gain mobility, you have to gain stability. So they kind of go hand in hand a little bit there.
So it's the strengthening in addition to really being in the lengthening and being in the right position.
Yeah.
And we see that all the time as coaches. I mean, he's seen it and I've seen it where people have crazy strength and they put the bar overhead and they're in this closed shoulder position.
Right.
And we're like, you got to try and get the bar back, and then they just drive their head forward, right? So they're really not fixing anything at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, in those situations, what we try to do typically is, get them to go down and wait if we can, for one, and try and get them in a better position for two.
Yeah.
But, there's only so much we can do in an hour class. And in our hour, like, my thing is, and I'm horrible with this. Like, I've kind of always been like, hey, you go in, you work out, you're good. Like, I didn't warm up. That's why I give you a hard time so much, because forever, like, I didn't warm up. And a lot of times I still don't warm up, you know? Like in 18.1, when I jumped out on the floor to try and help my man Rick and hadn't put anything overhead all day and thought I'd just drive a dumbbell overhead. That was a bad idea.
Oh, yeah.
My
Bad
shoulders
decision.
were like, are you crazy?
Really?
46, not 26. So, I got through it because I will, but not a good idea. Right. So, what we're trying to do is, like, in our warm-ups, we try and really do everything we can to warm up slowly, empty bar, do all these things, where we've really taken a very analytical approach to our warm-ups to try and make where people are really nice and warm. There's blood in the joints. We're not ever getting into a cold situation like me. But a lot of people that have these problematic areas, like, they should be doing things before they get on the floor, right?
Yeah,
if they can. Yeah. And I know that's really hard, and a lot of people, none of us really want to do that, but the payoff is huge. if you could just put a little bit of time in ahead of time, right?
It is, and there's so many. It's funny too because when we first opened, we started seeing CrossFitters in the beginning. It's funny because now when I see them, like a lot of them, like I still do that. Like I do these, or I do those side ones all the time. Like I'll do a side plank and I'll lift my foot up to try to get my glute. It doesn't take long, but you don't need a ton. So the reality is like, people have time constraints. Life's busy.
Yeah,
that's the
totally.
reality. So
and you're like, hey, I want to work out. I don't want to stretch for an hour.
Right, exactly. I want to come in, do it, and I got to go.
Like I want to get more
kids.
fit, but the problem is like there's this balance, and it's like there's fitness, and then there's like if you don't take the other things that have been a problem for years seriously, then you can't get fit.
Right.
And then that's where we talk about like what you had talked about, where it's like all or nothing, where it's like, okay, well now you're hurt, so now you can't work out because you went too heavy, because your shoulders are in the wrong position, and maybe shouldn't have gone that heavy that fast. And there's, we take a lot of precautions to try to avoid that, but sometimes people get little pulls and things like that because they're feeling good, they're feeling strong, and they want to go, and they're like, oh, this happened at CrossFit. But honestly, like in most situations, it happened from their daily routine, right? And what we've seen over the years is most people that are shortened or aren't using certain parts of their body in their day-to-day can't use them when they come into the gym, which is not surprising.
Right. And but it's funny, but again, how like resilient the body is, how they're really strong.
Oh,
like they throw these weights around, and because they have learned to compensate, and those dominant muscles are just ridiculously strong.
Adaptation, kind of, right?
Yeah, it's exactly it. Like you
become like a reptilian strength person.
Ooh,
I
like that.
Reptilian. How do you patronize?
Like I'm picturing somebody scaled with like a white underbelly,
with the fake abs, right?
Fake abs, definitely fake abs. We have to find that app because I need to. Gotta find that app. I'm serious. It was disturbing as can be.
3 people just quit the gym because you said that.
Yeah, you think so? Everybody's like, I'm out. I don't need to make these. I could just put them on my.
Like this.
I'm gonna.
Like, babe, get the app.
Yeah,
get the app. We're gonna wrap this up right now, baby.
We're gonna IG this thing.
We're gonna blow it up everywhere.
I'm gonna gram this so hard.
Friggin' taking money out of Brody's pocket. People able to put
no tattoo. You don't need a tattoo. You just put that on there. There you go.
Crazy.
You don't like it? Take it off in the next picture.
That's life now, though.
Is that life?
It's life now.
Well, I'm tapping out because that ain't good for me.
I know.
It's a trap.
It is a trap. You're right, Danny.
I know, Dave.
Because it's a moment of gratification.
Instant
there's
gratification.
No substance to it.
If it wasn't instant gratification, it'd be like, rewarding gram or something, not Instagram.
Oh, wow.
Right?
I didn't know where you were going for a second.
Yeah.
I kind of got on the train as it was
You're on the road,
moving.
It takes a while. Half of my stuff doesn't hit, so I just throw a lot.
What you were saying, though, is really funny, and it makes sense, is that, like, I had this really terrible cycle where I could, like, work out at a certain intensity, and then I'd have to back off for a month. Like, it was funny, like, the pain would, like, rotate from shoulder to shoulder. Yeah. So I'd be, like, cool for a month, and then I wouldn't be able to use this arm, and then I'd be cool for a month, and I wouldn't be able to use this arm.
So you were compensating, right?
Yeah, but when I started, like, paying attention, I have, like, been able to just train,
You've
like,
been
consistently.
So different.
That's awesome.
It's really different.
Yeah.
But I never put that together because I would like go through, like, I used to have to go home and put ice packs on.
Well, it's a hard thing to say, like, hey, look, if you have something going on your shoulder, you got to address it, and you're just like, I want to train, I don't want to do that. Like, I won't want to do that either. Yeah. Like, believe me, I'm horrible with that. Yeah. But I mean, you look at like John Drury.
Yeah.
Like, I swear to God, like, it's like 2 different people. Like, from his position, like working with him, he would come to lift every week, and you weren't there tonight, but whatever. So,
sorry.
And he'd come up, and his clean and jerk would be here every time. And I'd be like, try and get it back. Could not physically get it back. Start seeing Danny. Now, like, the boy's like, whoop, and he's like way behind his head, bars straight up. It's like, it's beautiful. And I'm like, you don't even look like the same person. And, I don't know if this is good or bad, but he didn't see you for that long. Like, I mean, it wasn't like...
No, but and you get those...
You made those changes, really.
You get those... He made the change.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. So, it's just like when you say, like, you're with him for an hour.
But isn't he the kind of guy who does, like, everything you say with the exercises? Because I know I see him here.
Absolutely.
That man, he comes in, and he's dead serious about his warm-up. Like, he gets his bands, he goes over. It's not an hour.
And about his training, too.
Oh, totally about his training, too. But it's like the way he warms up, it's like he knows he has to do this so that he can be healthy with it. And it's like, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And, not all of us have the discipline to do that, but he knew what his goals were.
And
very
that's what
clearly.
It's the discipline.
And
Like,
it's totally discipline.
It is. And it's also like, it feels really good to work out and not hurt.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
and
you don't need to hurt.
But that becomes people's pattern.
Yes.
Like they almost feel like, yeah, well, I hurt. Well, dude, why? You don't have you can be muscle sore.
Yeah,
like,
that's
you're
totally
you're
something
in
else.
Physical pain.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I
Take a step back.
Yeah.
Restructure some things, and then you can do the same movement and feel good. You will be stronger. You are now not trying to lift through pain. You now have more
no,
ability. You're
you don't
stacking
need to.
weight.
You don't
Right.
need to.
So you're going to
And
get
whether it's
stronger.
seeing
Science.
you or seeing whoever else, an
Right.
acupuncturist, a chiropractor, whoever works for you at that time, not addressing these things, I find that they compound over time.
Absolutely.
And they don't
go away.
They don't go away.
No, they don't go away.
They hide.
Yeah.
They play peekaboo.
Little
but
tiny
they
elephant.
come back.
They
The
become a little
tiny elephant.
but they'll come back a big hamster.
brings his
You know what I mean?
Wow, that's deep.
right? See how we did
The
that?
tiny elephant becomes a giant
Become a
hamster.
giant hamster.
It's a
It's
combination.
like a metamorphosis.
It's not the combination of the hamster and the elephant. That shit's weird. But no, it's the combination of the two things. But isn't that funny? Like someone who really wants to get better and has like the resources to do so.
Uh-huh.
It's like if there's any accelerator, that's what it is. It's not. It's not spending more time. It's actually doing the right stuff and having access to the right resources.
Right.
Totally.
And that's
where do
information,
you
though.
usually? I would imagine that it's pretty hard. Like we live in New Jersey, and even here, like unless you're in the right community, you don't have access to the right resources.
No.
You could actually get access to the wrong resources that could fuck you up more.
Oh,
There's plenty of-
100%.
You know what I
and that's
mean?
why him and I talked about him opening his place for how long now? It's
17
embarrassing
years.
amount of time. So and I have to say he was ahead of the curve a lot of times, and he probably would have been super, super I mean, he came up with some
Stop.
groundbreaking
You're being-
ideas.
Like the shake weight?
Stop it.
Well, almost shake weight,
Almost
but
shake weight work.
almost shake weight esque.
Oh,
But
what can I? Is it something that you could talk about, or is it like patent pending?
I don't know. I don't
no,
remember.
just like training kids and stuff. Like
doing
we
things
talked
different.
about things like all the way back. I mean, before I started CrossFit, he was talking
Yeah.
about like doing interval training with kids.
We
Very
did a class.
yeah.
We did at the
Yes.
dojo. Yeah.
Very, very CrossFit.
Yeah.
And I mean, I started CrossFit in 2005. So this was before that. And he was like right on that edge where he's like, if we did interval training and we had them doing plyometrics, box jumps here, sprints over there, lifting some weights over here, very CrossFit type stuff. But it's pretty amazing. So, I mean, that's where his head has been forever.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's an L1, which a lot of people don't know.
Oh, you are?
Oh, yeah.
I am. I can't coach though, Dave.
But
But
do you
I
even
didn't know
remember
that.
who your? I actually do. But do you remember who your flow master was and everything, and who your instructors? Oh, I do.
I know. I had a guy, Joe. I mean.
Oh,
No, I don't. Not that I remember.
Oh, you
mine, but
remember
I
his?
remember his because
Oh.
I remember getting the text and being like, "You've got to be kidding me!" And
Oh,
like
it
he had
was,
no idea who it was.
Kalika?
Oh, he had Jason
Kalika.
Kalipa, not Kaliko. I'm not quite sure where we're going with that. Jason Kalipa, who's a former games champion. Then he had Austin Maliolo.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Another games athlete.
Yeah.
Then he had Pat Barber.
Really?
Another
right.
games athlete.
Yeah.
And he's a commentator now, right?
No, not Pat Sherwood. Pat
Oh,
Barber.
okay.
He's on the L1 staff for years, and he works for Kalipa out at NorCal.
Kaliko.
But Kaliko.
Yeah.
So
Kaliko Vision.
So like I
Very
remember
nice
him
people.
texting me. I'm like, hey, who do you have? And he's just like, oh, this guy Jason so and so, and then Austin, and then I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, you have no appreciation.
Stepped in
It's
shit.
like giving a man
I know.
the best wine you could find, and all he drinks is beer.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, well,
You know I'm not classy.
I know that's why I like it, but it was pretty funny because
Where'd you do it?
he did it at Morristown.
Oh, Gorilla, whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
Yeah,
yeah,
Morristown.
at Gorilla.
Wow.
Sandy. That was the weekend of Sandy.
Yeah, it was
Because I
that's when you did it.
never went back home after that. I went Sandy
Yeah,
hit, and
that's
I went,
exactly what happened.
I went right to the hospital. I had to stay there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was
And
bonkers.
the weekend of Sandy, like putting some history down, that was the weekend that we were. That was the weekend of us having the first team all the way up in Massachusetts for that competition at Pioneer, our buddy's box up there.
What was it called? The one with Alex and...
Yeah. Pioneer Valley. It was the massacre, the
the
Northeast massacre.
Yeah.
And like that was a crazy competition. But we're up there, we're in Massachusetts, and we're like hearing, oh man, this huge storm hit New Jersey. We're like, oh, is that a big deal? And then all of a sudden, like on the way home, we're like, oh man, it's a really big deal. And we're like rushing home.
Yeah.
We're hitting like every like grocery store trying to get water because they're saying nobody's got water bottles, and it was crazy. It was a crazy thing. You had that going on, I had that going on, and it was just like, that was weird. And to think that was so long ago now, it's crazy.
But I love, like, even though I never coached, but as a therapist, like, it gives you a really great foundation for when an athlete comes in that I can't coach the movement. I can never even pretend that I know the movements anywhere near like a coach does, but I have an idea when they come in. I know the terminology, and I can kind of figure out where you're going with it. But it also gives me an open that I can you can sort of see it from where you guys are looking at, and that's where it can be a pretty good team to try.
Well, how many therapists around here are L1s? Or even do CrossFit, you know? So it's like, that's actually a really big deal for us. And that was kind of like my sticking point for years is, you know, I know some great chiropractors. I know some great, you know, body workers. I know, you know, some great massage therapists, whatever. But like, we didn't have that missing piece. And we also didn't have that person that was doing CrossFit with us, like you are, somebody that had an L1, understood movement. Because, like, no matter how much you talk to somebody about what we do, unless you see it or you're trained in it, there's going to be a disconnect somewhere.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, like, you know, big thing for our athletes is our athletes want to be able to keep getting fit.
Yeah. Right.
And, like, there's always a way for us to keep people moving. Yes. You know, always. Yeah. Always. Like, you know, I was talking to somebody tonight, and they're like, oh, man, I'm having a hard time, so I think I'm going to take, like, a little time off. And I'm like, hey, that's cool. You can do that, but understand, for one, you're probably not going to like sitting around because, like, I know that most people don't. And for two, like, when you sit around, other things go wrong.
Right? Yeah.
And, like, for me, man, I mean, I cannot sit around. Like, my body just does not like it at all. Forget my brain. That's a whole other dark story.
Oh, I thought that's where you were going.
No, that's even darker. No, I can't go there. We'd have to change the rating of the podcast. But we can't talk about.
Oh, was I not supposed to? I think I said about
words. It's set for explicit.
Okay.
Oh, you said like 10. Are you kidding?
It's set for explicit because of you.
It's set for explicit because I knew you were coming on. I knew you can't control.
I've been doing a lot better than I used to do.
You're so much better.
You know,
you've really, you know,
blossomed.
You brought that bar up.
Thanks, man. I told you
the new look and everything.
I've grown as a person.
You have grown. Leaps and bounds, man.
You guys are a bunch of assholes.
Leaps and bounds. You know what? You're a big elephant.
No, thank you. At least a child-sized elephant.
Child-sized
elephant.
Thanks, Dan.
Man. Short. You're not a little L.
You are not a gerbil.
Bluebird having some.
You are not a gerbil.
No, but it's true. You have changed. It's good. I think we've all changed.
Yeah.
Change is good.
Change is great.
But my point was with that, before we talk about you going through your changes, is that
like a butterfly.
Is that, you know, sitting around is hard on everybody. And there's a reason why we all kind of get along so well, is because we kind of all have the same mentality. And our gym is such an amazing community of people that are all like, hey, look, I want to come in, I want to work out. Sometimes they want to hang out here for 3 hours. And other nights they want to get in, get their workout out, and go. Yeah. All of it is cool. And that changes day to day based on our lives. But when you're like, hey, okay, now hit the brakes and go sit on the couch and do nothing. Like, there's so many things you can do.
So many
things. I mean, and the cool thing about CrossFit is there's so many modalities that we can do that, like, okay, you got something going on with your wrist, no problem. You got something going on with your knee, no problem. Like, we can easily, and all of our coaching staff, like every one of you guys, are thoroughly competent to do that. Right. Like, nobody's like, I don't know what to do.
Oh, we have rowing certs and lifting certs and this CrossFit cert and that specialty cert.
You have experience, like a ton of experience. I mean, you have to understand, like, most gyms haven't been around for over a decade. So it's like we, for good or for bad, have, you know, and I'll be the first to admit, like, most of my success comes from being the biggest failure I've ever met. So it's like, you know, I have failed far more many times than I've
what's that
succeeded.
Saying? You don't lose, you learn.
That sounds good to me. It's better than the hamster.
Man.
So
I'll take the hamster. Yeah,
but that's a dad quote right there.
Yeah, that's very deep.
You know?
I'm a dad.
I feel like I got school.
I got kids. Whatever's. It's good.
But, you know, I mean, that's all part of it. And I think people just have to realize that sometimes you have to be okay with altering movement. Some people don't want to change any movement. They're like, I want to move the way I want to move. I want to lift what I want to lift. And I want to go the speed I want to go. Well, you know, if the choice is do nothing or do something, I would choose to do something.
And I think that's where, like, this place is so different than, I mean, just from talking with people. I haven't been to really many other gyms, but like this. So when you talk like community and family, like I was away for 7 years. I didn't train.
Oh, yeah.
And then just came back. And I think what I missed the most when you're talking about, when you're talking about community and family. Like I was at, a 9 o'clock class. One of the athletes, husband and wife, they have their baby with them, Alex and Chris, and like everyone is rotating, like entertaining, the baby.
Man. Shout out to Baby Remy.
Yeah,
baby Remy, man.
Oh my God,
gorgeous.
The OG JSA baby.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
she's awesome.
Her cheeks are just like.
But like where else
crazy.
do you see that? Like where else do you go to see somebody stop what they're doing so you can work out and genuinely care for that person? Like that's just, I feel like CrossFit, and then being in my office. I have the CrossFitters come in, and I call them my CrossFitters. You're mine too.
That's cool.
Thanks, man.
And then you leave, and everyone's like, "Those guys are crazy!" Like, but they don't understand.
No,
because they hear a high level athlete talking about throwing all this weight around. That anyone can do it.
Sure.
Like you can take that movement, and you're just moving. You just have the stigma of CrossFit on it, but anybody can do this.
That is actually the coolest part. I mean, the community and just seeing that, like, you can get somebody of any, like, hey, I've never lifted weights in my life.
Right.
I've been lifting weights all my life, and you can put them in a room, and all of a sudden, everybody's friends.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, everybody's cool.
Yep.
And nobody really cares, like, about what you're lifting. I know everybody thinks you care what the other person's lifting, but nobody really cares. You know what people care about? They care that you know how to count.
Yeah. But
right?
nobody can count in my office. What is that, dude? Everybody counts every rep in this place. What number are you on? I don't know.
Well, they do that to me in the warm-ups too.
It's ridiculous.
But when it matters,
I'm
they
looking
count.
at you, Dave.
No,
You're not a good counter.
I don't know where I am.
You're not a good counter.
But that's pretty much it.
shave
I mean,
reps.
as long as, like, we don't talk to people and say, hey, you need to behave this way in the gym. And we don't say, hey, look, you can't do this, you can't do that. Most of the time, people just come in, and naturally they come into the environment. They're like, oh, this is like, it's all natural. It's just good nature, good people.
Yeah.
And the thing that I've learned over the years is good people stay, and people that aren't so nice, they split.
Right.
And sometimes I help them leave. But either way, I protect my family.
Yeah.
But, it's like I view everybody here like they're my flock. And if I don't protect my flock, I'm not doing my job. So it's like, I want that environment. I want people to be like, my baby's there, your baby's there, I'm working out. And no matter what happens, somebody here's got your back.
Yeah.
I mean, I forget a couple weeks ago, somebody's battery died. Like, everybody, like, jumped into, like, who's going to help her? Who's got jumper cables? What can we do? Like, it's like, nobody teaches anybody this.
No.
And it's like, it would be cool if everybody was like that everywhere, but, like, I can't control that, but I can control this. And I love that community now has overflown into your business, and you get to see it, you get to be part of it. And
It's
then
the
you're,
best part.
It's like, it's so cool.
And it is. Then
It's like JSA, where is it? South.
JSA, is that where it is?
South.
Yeah.
Sure.
I had a
But
You
it
always
is, like,
wanted to
that's-
expand, man.
Yeah.
That's my, and the same thing. Like we treat, if somebody, once you walk through our doors, like you're now my family.
Yeah.
Like you will be treated as I would treat any family member there is, and that's the best feeling. You know what I mean? Because that they're always going to come back, and you always help each other. And honestly, like everyone, they're so grateful. Like, oh, thank you. But like I get to hang out with my friends.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
when I treat and you guys come in, like.
Oh,
It's
see,
kind of like work, but
you remind me of sometimes because, like, when I go into Danny's, I feel like I'm in a barber shop. You know what I mean?
You said that to me once. You
I
said
did.
like everybody walks in, everybody kind of knows everybody.
Everybody knows
and
everybody.
Well, I
everybody's
didn't even know like
names
the guy next to me, but like we're bullshitting about something or other. Like
he
like
loved
some
you,
some
man.
older guy. You know
That's
what I
awesome.
mean? But that's so cool because it's not like sterile.
No.
I'd imagine like a
Well,
Meridian
sometimes
is
people are little-
very
Oh,
impersonal.
we are,
you know,
we are very. We have inappropriate hour. We have it.
But it's great.
there's no
Every
little
time I'm
ones.
there, it's inappropriate. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
that-
I'm the one bringing it, but
Coincidence? I think not.
I think
No.
so.
That's important. That's really important, especially to the younger generation.
Oh,
young-
easy.
young-
That is not just all
Easy.
business all the time. We like to have a little fun
Like
too.
to
Has to be fun.
really let our hair down.
Yeah.
No, but for serious, building culture is something that people pay a lot of money for in big
Yeah.
organizations.
Yeah.
It is very difficult to do to build because that's what you're talking about.
Totally.
You'd call it a family. It's really a culture that you've built.
100%.
And that's so difficult because there's not a handbook for culture.
No, and it has been, it's been a learning process over the years
Yes.
where, nobody teaches you and says, okay, here's your CrossFit gym, and this is how you develop a nice group of people.
No,
it's like it doesn't
Right.
work that way.
Yeah.
And not everybody that walks in the door is here for the right reason, and not everybody that walks in the door should be part of the group. It definitely doesn't work that way. But the people we have now, man, it's like, it's just, I love coming to work. It's like, I don't sit here and be like, I've had jobs before this, where I've been like, oh my God, I don't want to go to work because I hate seeing Larry.
Oh yeah.
And like, Johnny's just like, he's so miserable, I can't do it. I
Because
just
everyone's
can't do
a
it.
dipshit.
Yeah, exactly. Where I come in here and it's like people are like happy and then they're like fired up.
Yeah.
And that gets me fired up. And like today, Bailey's like, man, you're really fired up positive today. I'm like, I'm fired up every day. I said, I just hold it in sometimes. But I'm never not fired up. And she looked at me like I was crazy.
You are crazy.
Which I am crazy. But like I am fired up. It's like the coolest job in the world. I mean, I get to hang out with cool people all day, like you
That's what I'm
said.
saying. You get to
It's
hang
like I
out with your
come
friends,
in,
man.
we talk, we bullshit, we work out. I make people jacked. Like, what's up?
I know.
Maybe adding some years to people's lives. Keep them out of the nursing home. I mean, that's my goal. CrossFit Games, that sounds nice, but like, I'd like to be able to eat and go to the bathroom on my own. That's a nice goal for a long time. If like we can go there. Yeah, that's me. Like, I want to be able to be active with my kids as long as they want to be active with me. I don't ever want to say I can't do something.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to just, not be a big couch potato and look like I'm fishing for type 2 diabetes. I want to at least make an effort to try and stay fit.
You don't want to be the big hamster.
No, I don't want to be the big hamster. I want to be the tiny elephant.
You want to be the tiny elephant, the tiny fast fit elephant.
I don't care if I'm in an aquarium. If it's cool, it's hooked up. We're
I
good.
feel good about that,
Aquarium.
man.
It's not
Like,
an
you're in a
elephant
safe
swimming.
place.
Yeah, whatever you say.
At least nobody can get to you in there.
Listen, we made you a medium-sized elephant. What are you?
I wanted to be a child-sized elephant.
It's not
You are
happening.
now.
It's not an option.
Because you blossomed, you are now.
Apparently,
We made
that's
it for
the
you.
entire name of the episode is Tiny Elephants and Giant Hamsters.
There's a lot. There's a lot that we got.
Could be
We
so
went a lot
many
of
different
places.
things. All right, so
Okay.
before we wrap it up, because it's getting late, and I appreciate you guys coming out. I know you're both real busy. Can you tell me what's the name of your place again?
Pinnacle
For people that don't know.
Rehabilitation and Sports Medicine.
And where is that place?
And we are in Point Pleasant on Route 88.
Do you have one of them high-fangled, like fancy websites?
We do have, I think, a high fancy fangled website.
What's the address?
It's
I just like messing with you because I know you don't know.
Rehab at something.
Are you sure? Oh my
Danny,
god!
you're not a
God.
salesman, Danny.
Oh,
Brother,
it's
I'm
so
not a
bad.
techie, man.
No, he does not sell.
I don't do.
I don't
I
sell
like that.
either.
See, I like that about
Yes,
him. Though.
we don't sell. But
No, man.
I like it.
I mean, you got to at least eat because you're gonna starve. So nobody's saying you got to be a gourmet cook, but you got to learn.
I did.
Oh,
I
jeez.
hired people. They post something every day.
What's your Instagram? Like, if I wanted to punch you up right now, put that phone away. What's your Instagram?
It's Pinnacle.
This is sad,
Pinnacle
Dave.
Rehab Instagram.
He's too busy doing God's work.
An Irish guy just added an O to it.
I'm too busy.
Instagramo.
I'm mobilizing.
That's anti. That's a little bit.
That was
Instagramo, right? You didn't know that about him.
Hey yo,
Basta
Instagram.
fazoo.
But they can find you here Thursday nights if they want to meet you, right?
Absolutely. And
What
always
night?
around.
What time?
I am here 4:30 to 8.
Are you looking up his Instagram?
Yeah.
Don't help him.
Help me, dude.
Don't
help,
help him.
me help you.
Help me. Be part of my own rescue.
It's
It
not going to
is.
be.
It's good. It's Pinnacle.
El
There it is.
Dano.
Yeah, Pinnacle Rehabilitation. One word.
Bam. I feel like I said that within there.
I don't think that was what you said.
There might have been a
but
niner.
Oh,
It's
and there's videos of Danny on here.
I've been trying so hard.
know.
I've been trying with this guy.
He's playing golf
doing
too.
stuff.
Are you playing golf with Bobby Flagg
Yes, I am.
Really?
And I'll
Oh
tell
my
you
God.
what, Mr. Flagg is a heavy hitter.
Really?
on the golf course?
He can drive that ball.
Really?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't-
man.
I don't doubt
How's the
that.
short game?
Pretty
Okay.
good. Still
All
good.
right.
Better than mine.
Do you
Bobby.
outdrive him?
No.
That's great.
I couldn't outdrive him if I had a car. No. That man
And-
blast that ball.
did you know that Dave's got a podcast?
Oh yeah, conversation piece.
No, I did
Like
not
a piece
know.
of pie, not piece to the world.
Not PEA?
Can I
No,
be like a podcast
that would be
whore
sweet.
and just
That-
like, no, I want to be on
Yeah,
your podcast?
Come
too?
on, over. Mine's a little bit looser. I'm just gonna say.
I thought this was pretty loose. We had hamsters.
I
Oh,
know
no, it's gonna
it
get weird.
goes way off the
gonna get
rails.
weird.
Like if you want to uphold, like if you have like an image to uphold and stuff. Like I'm always very nervous that someone from my job is going to listen to the
Ooh,
podcast.
wow.
I'm always
so that
very
makes you
nervous.
want to listen more,
now
right?
I'm
it's like the
intrigued.
forbidden fruit.
It is.
But see, I know my I know my Instagram handle
what
immediately.
is your
At
Insta-
Dave can do it. Boom.
At Dave can do it.
Dave can do it.
One word, right?
Dave can do it.
Dave can do it.
And
Dave
I'm
can
on
do it.
Vero now too, which you guys
What
got.
is a
You got to
Vero?
get hooked up with Vero
that where I
now.
get the apps?
It's the new cool.
the abs
It
Vero?
is the new cool social networking app. You heard it
Is
here
it like-
first, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, is it like what is that thing they don't have anymore? Before Facebook. What was that?
MySpace?
MySpace. Is it
No,
like My-
it's an and like you can put people. You're coming
had
at
a
me with
MySpace
my
page.
Yeah,
Come
I did.
on.
But you're coming at me with MySpace. I bet you were on Friendster. All right.
Dude, did you really have a MySpace page?
Yeah, of course I did. That was
you
my
old enough?
generation. Yes, I am. I'm gonna be 30,
Did you
man.
have a MySpace?
I think I had one for the business when it first.
You probably thought it wasn't
Yeah.
cool. You're like, this is.
No,
stupid.
I had one. I've tried.
I was trying to.
So tell me about Vero.
Vero.
What's
It's
Vero?
a new app, and
What is a
you
Vero?
basically
Yeah.
put people into different categories. So you
Whoa.
you can have
That's
people that are just following you. Then you could have people that are acquaintances or
Okay.
people that are close, and you could post different content.
Is it kind of
onto
like
different
an
streams.
Instagram, a
It is.
Tumblr, or
yeah,
a
it's
Facebook?
an Instagram.
It's more like an
but
Instagram.
you could
So
put
more
people in
image-based?
buckets.
I
I
Yes.
could put a person in a bucket.
Yes,
That's
you could put people in a
inappropriate,
bucket.
but
So you
in a
just
lot of
if people are
cultures,
just
yeah.
looking and you don't want like all your racy photos on your main
I don't have
stream,
racy
What's up,
photos.
perv?
then
I
you
got
just
children,
you put
man.
the fake ab photos just to like your close
Ooh.
friends. You know what I mean?
You know what we should do after this is we should get that app.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And we should totally have. Well, Dave doesn't need fake abs. He's got real
I
ones.
know. He's got-
I got a lot of hair.
I'll take 'em.
Got like a
You
taco
take 'em?
meat.
I'll take. I don't have.
Oh, we'll put them on Dan.
Yeah, put 'em
Maybe
on
we
Dan.
could take some tattoos off, put some new ones on, put some bluebirds on with the abs. You know what? I think if you had crazy abs and bluebirds, you could probably pull it off.
You know, I'm gonna tell everyone right now that's listening. I'm gonna get those crazy abs. And Brody,
What about the bluebirds?
I'm gonna get those goddamn bluebirds.
Brody,
Okay.
you got somebody coming.
Longo knows it's coming out
The
of
bird has landed.
And I'm gonna get cacao written somewhere on me too.
All right, maybe my podcast won't be lucid.
I don't
I'm
think
not
it's gonna
sure.
listen.
I'm not sure.
We've had beards, we've had gerbils, we've had hamsters, elephants.
I'm not
Vero.
even quite sure what we talked about, but there was some good in the middle.
Yeah,
there was
there's a
right?
lot of good stuff.
Yeah. It
you
wasn't
got
just
but you
filler.
got to make them work for it. You can't just put it all
can't
out
just
there
put it
in like
it
a
isn't
3
out there.
That's what they're looking for. They're looking for instant gratification. Make them dig.
Oh, there's a
Make
lot
them
of digging in this one.
They're digging.
You might want to include a spade or something because I'm not quite sure anybody's ever going to get to the gold.
No, they're not. They're gonna be like, they're talking about hamsters again.
Hamster one more time, or this could be a drinking game. Every time you hear Tiny Elephant, you gotta take a shot. That's
Awesome! What a
Tiny
good idea!
Elephant. Oh,
My turn again.
Oh, you're gonna be wasted.
That's what you should do on your podcast.
there you go. Play back the Tiny Elephant.
Yeah.
Tiny Elephant drinking game. You heard it here first.
Wow, we just that.
Oh, that's
We are
amazing.
cutting edge.
I'm telling you.
Who knew,
I don't know
man?
what Vermo is or whatever,
Yeah,
but
Vero.
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 like Vero.
What's your handle on that
It's
one?
the same thing.
Damn it.
Dave's got it.
I branded myself
Dave
across
can do
all
it?
social media
amazing.
platforms.
Is it Dave can do it or Dave's
Dave can
got
do it.
Dave can do it.
Dave's got it. That's what
Dave's got it.
Is it Dave's got or Dave can do
Dave
it?
can do it. It's
Dave can do it.
Dave's got it. Is kind
Dave should do it.
Yeah.
Dave, I would take all those.
Dave should do it.
Dave should do
Dave
it.
almost
Dave
did
shouldn't-
it.
Dave shouldn't do it. Dave would do it.
So
Dave thought about it.
who do you have on your pod? Like who comes on your podcast?
Well, my friends. So
I
I'm.
want to be on that one.
Yeah, I have a lot of my friends. Like I've had Justin on. I know some like really random people. Like my buddy who's in the Village People was on it. Yeah, I'm going. I have like a lot of friends from music that I have scheduled and
Digging
stuff
deep.
like that. Yeah, I am.
That's cool.
I'm digging deep. I'll tell you though, I kind of feel like a jerk because I'm like hitting people up. They're like, "Oh, I haven't talked
I
to
haven't
you."
talked to you in 20 years. Hey, you want to be on my podcast?
I know. I feel terrible.
It's better than being like, hey, I'm in jail.
Yeah, I guess
You got
so.
50 bucks?
I need
feel-
$50. I'm hurting.
It's like I just want to talk to you. I have noticed though that people really don't like to talk about themselves.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
can see that.
a lot of
Very
people are like, "No, I'm good," and I would
Yeah.
think like, "Oh, don't you want to like just sit down?" And they're like,
I think
"No."
that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. I just
think
didn't
it's a good thing.
anticipate that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, maybe frame it differently so you're not like, hey, I'm going to talk about you. You know,
Yeah.
maybe just like, hey, let's just chill out and talk.
You're on the spot.
Yeah.
Elephant or hamster? Go.
Go. 3,
I felt
2,
uncomfortable for a little
1.
bit. Not gonna lie.
You did. I saw some
I
sweat.
I'm nervous. I didn't know what's
all
right
right.
or wrong answer.
Well, we're going to wrap this up. So thank you both. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you for having us.
Shand, for
Thank you
coming
very
in.
much.
And I hope you both come back again.
I'd
Yeah.
say
And
it
you
was
bring
fun.
your hamster
Yeah.
and your elephant.
Mine's an elephant.
I'm in.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks for
Take care.
having us.
Bye.